Hello and welcome back to City Skylines. My name is Sparky and we are in the city of Baltimoray here on the west coast of Scotland. The last time we built this pedestrian precinct for mainly commercial, and I think it turned out quite well. I mean, we've got our organic and fish market here, we've got our larger shopping centres surrounding it and a sort of promenade area and a bit of plaza area where, people can come and rest. So today we're going to start our fishing industry to work so that our fish market and our new commercial zone can work. And I want to work in our services as well because as you can see, I've plunked down an oil power plant here, and that was because when I was building the commercial, our power, we were struggling for power, so obviously I want to get rid of that, and I've neglected the school coverage and fire and police. So we're working our services. We're going to extend our sort of new grid over here and hopefully finish sort of the European side of things, the European assets. So I've just deleted the assets I had there, and they were mostly, it was a small clinic and an oil power plant, that's a couple of crematoriums. I mean, obviously these are services we kind of need if we're going to start, simulating at any point, but at the moment I just kind of want to just pause and finish this grid before we do anything else, tidy a few things up before we get going here. So I'm just extending this zone over a wee bit to cover where the rail line comes, and we're just extending our European district a wee bit. So I don't want to do too much more terraforming over here, but I do want to have this sort of corner relatively in line with the rest of the grid over here. So I don't want to destroy these buildings, but I do want to upgrade this road to a two-lane road here. So if we've paused it and we put the road back in and we rezone it, it shouldn't affect the buildings in any way, shape or form. And realistically, you could say, we're extending a road into a space that had nothing in it, so we can, if this was a real world build, nothing would really have to change there. They would just have to, extend the road, and that's it. So the back here, I do want it to have sort of square up at the back here. I want to try and avoid making square grids as much as possible, but obviously in some places it just makes sense and it looks right. So I'm just extending the grid down. So I don't want to create anything too elaborate here, I just want to extend the grid in a logical way. I do want to leave myself a sort of squarish area for like a school, and I think I'm just going to sort of continue my grid in such a way that, it's left this extra square here that we can convert into like an elementary school area. So I've also decided to convert the rest of this area. At first I was going to maybe leave the top half of this area as, just standard high-rise, the sort of default style high-rise buildings, but I think I'm just going to convert this whole area to the European assets. And even though I don't think it suits the curved areas as well, I do think once it's zoned in, it does look actually better than I thought it would. So I'm going to convert it and keep it like this. So in this bottom corner of our older style grid, I'm going to go for a high school. We probably could do another high school and another elementary school down here in this area in general, because we've got one big area and we're just going to put one of each in. And I'm going to go for the European assets again here. I like the high capacity schools. I just don't think they suit this area, but because we're obviously the buildings around about it are relatively old, so I kind of want to go for a similar style. And I'm just going to bonk it down this corner, as I said, and then we're going to stick a tennis court and a basketball court next to it. So it'll look as if it's part of the school. Obviously the game's a wee bit different from that. Obviously it doesn't necessarily fit directly, but we'll just pretend like it's part of the school area, and they've got a basketball court and a tennis court. So rather than just make a simple square here, I'm going to curve this road round. For reasons I'm going to go into later on. I think it will suit what we're going to do later on as well, rather than just having a square corner. We'll also just make up a wee bit of variety rather than just having a square grid all the time. So just a wee semicircle at the end there, just to sort of mix it up a wee bit, and then, as I say, later on I'll explain a bit further into that. And here I want to sort of connect some paths up to the sort of cement bit of the high school, just to make it look as if it's there's some natural paths connected to it. I don't think it suits quite well when you're stuck with the grid line, so you're going to have to manually add a path. So we've got a wee bit of zone at the side here, so I'm just going to fence it off and look as if that's the edge of the school. And then we can put some low density shops next to it. So when I've put that in there, that's taken away one of the zoning squares, so I want to redo this and try and make sure we get a 2x2 shop. I don't really want to have just a 1x1 shop in the corner, so I just think it suits better to I don't like assets that are smaller than 2x2, that's just a personal preference of mine. So I'm just going to zone a couple of wee shops here, just a 2x2 and a 2x3. I'm just going to put a tree in the back corner of this wee quadrant to sort of add another layer of sort of separation between my shops and my school area. So again, I'm just going to put a row of trees in between my shops area and our school. So it looks a wee bit wonky now because we had the oil plant here before. The pollution's making it a bit, it doesn't look that great right now. But hopefully once the pollution clears up, it'll look a bit better. So I'm also going to put in a row of lindens at either side of this path for the back entrance, if you will. And again, it looks a bit wonky right now because of the pollution, but hopefully once that clears up, it'll look quite good. And I'm just going to put in more offices at the back end here. So in this the top area, again, I'm going to have mostly residential, but pretty much all residential. So as I said earlier, I want to put another school up here, an elementary this time. We probably could do with another one, but I'll see what I'm doing with the surrounding area first before I make any drastic changes. But I think one of each will do. One high school, one elementary will do for now. And again, I do like to fence off my school areas just to give them a wee bit more privacy / space. I don't like them crammed into any old spot, to be honest. I like to give them a wee bit of space. I'm just putting a fence all around the sort of quadrant it's in. And I like to do that when I'm making a grid and I've got random shaped quadrants. I'll usually like to try and put a school in one of these, So I've got a nice sort of fenced off quadrant with our school, and I just put a wee couple of trees around it. Again, nothing major. I don't think an elementary school really needs much more than that. It's got a couple of playground features already added onto the asset, so I don't think it needs much more than a wee bit of landscaping, to be honest. So I'm just going to go with a ring of cherry blossom trees around the side. I mean, nothing too fancy, as I said, and I'm just going to put a couple of oak trees in there as well in each of the corners. Again, just for a wee bit more privacy. I don't want the oak trees too close to the school, and I think that looks quite nice. I've got plenty of space at the back for the kids to come play in, and I think that looks quite nice. I think it'll look better as well when the flats have zoned around it. So before we start simulating here, I want to take a look at our power. I think I'm going to go for some advanced wind turbines for now, and see how that looks to bridge the gap across this sort of body of water here. I don't know if they're going to be most efficient in certain places, but we'll put it in for now anyway, and we'll see how it goes in long term. I don't know, we can maybe look at it down the road, but I think for now it'll do anyway. Just have a row of advanced turbines, and that should bridge the gap across, the water. We'll have to have a wee, obviously, pylons there, but it's much better than our lazy, line of pylons we put in beforehand. So I'm just going to put a line in now of pylons before we do anything else, because we're always simulating while we're building at this point, so I'm just going to put a temporary power line in, and I'm just going to put a clinic down to replace the one we had. I'm not too sure if I'm going to have a full-blown hospital over here. I might just plonk down a couple of clinics just to keep us going for now, and we need more fire and police stations over here. So I'm just going to stick them in this corner for now. Again, they might change positions. I don't know. I've obviously left space for a road to go in between them there, but we'll see how it goes. So now I want to sort of start with fishing, and by doing that, obviously we're going to make a quay wall. So I do want to flatten out just a wee bit along the waterfront, basically. So I'm just going to use that terrain height as our lowest level, and we're going to use that as our sort of template for our quay wall. So we're going to have this sort of swoop around this sort of corner here. So I'm just getting my terrain height up, putting it so the road is flat. Again, so over here we're just going to stick in a straight road, and we want obviously it to be as flat as possible. So now we can connect these two up, but we're just going to level it before we connect it up. And we'll just curve the road. We'll curve the road round once we get it flattened out. So I just want to build a basic grid so that it fits in with the rest of our city, and it's something we can use as a sort of template as we build on. So I'm just building a basic grid to go around this corner. So we've got We've got our road in place. That'll make it easier to put our quay wall in. So obviously we need to do a wee bit of terraforming here and bring in, bring in the land. I mean, I don't know if this is just a complete lack of realism here, but I think it looks better when you build the quay walls this way in the game anyway. Obviously we'll need to simulate so the water, properly adapts to what we've built. I'm just going to level it again over here. So obviously it doesn't look great right now. But obviously we need to simulate and then let the water sort of settle to a new level. So I'm just plonking down a crematorium for now. Again, it might be in fact it will be temporary. I want the power to jump while we're doing stuff here. So I've just connected up that road for now. I mean, in terms of actual road over here, I don't know how much is going to be permanent and how much is going to be temporary, but I want to get the quay wall in. Obviously, it's just easier to build quay walls with roads. Yeah, just having roads as a guideline, they just make building quay walls so much easier in my opinion. It's just the way I like to build them. I don't know if there's an easier way than what I'm doing, but I just find that the road's easier. Quay walls to be easier once you put the road in first. So again, I'm putting the quay wall in here, and I think it looks quite good. It's quite, it's quite flat. There's no lumpies and bumpies, and that's because we prepared before we started putting anything in. But in terms of the roads over here, I don't know how close to the actual water they'll be, but for now, we'll stick them in as they are, and then down the line we might change the roads, but the road layout. But in terms of the quay wall anyway, the quay wall will at least look good, I think. So I'm just curving this round here. I think that looks pretty good. As I say, it's quite flat as well. There's nothing that I hate more than a quay wall that's lumpy and bumpy and all over the place. So we're just zoning here, make sure the water sits in right and nothing's going to be too ugly. Again, I think because our quay wall is quite low, it's going to have that little bump there from the road, so I don't know, that might mean I bring in the road eventually, just bring it in a couple of blocks just to avoid that, because it doesn't look the greatest to be honest. But for now I just kind of want to bung down the quay wall anyway, get our fishing started, and then down the road we can maybe look at rejigging the roads a wee bit, but we'll see. So now that our quay wall is in place, the reason I made the 8x18 grid as we usually do is because the fishing assets just fit naturally into it, in my opinion. So we're going to go for a couple of fishing harbours, and we're going to go for a fish farm, and I've left another space there for an algae farm and a seaweed farm, so sort of have one of each. I don't think it makes any difference to the actual in-game in-game things, but I just think in terms of what it looks like, it just looks like we've got a good mix of all three. We've got a fish farm, we'll have an algae farm, and we'll have a seaweed farm. So because this asset's a wee bit weird, the fish farm, I'm just going to make it more centralised. So I'm just making some temporary roads here so we can bonk down more fish farm. And I think that looks a wee bit better in the centre of our little grid here rather than at the side. We could maybe do that with the other two, but I don't think they're that to ones, they're that offset. So in terms of fishing routes, I don't think we're going to build them too efficient. We're just going to make it so that it looks as if that we're making the water come alive, if you will, and having boats coming through the area. I don't really, as I said, I'm not making these too efficient or anything. it's not the height of realism, I don't think, but I think more realistically they would go further out to sea to do their fishing rather than, in this sort of wee bay area. But we're just sort of trying to make the area look a wee bit more alive by having some boats come through it. In terms of efficiency, I'm not too bothered about these ones. I mean, we'll probably get more fish from our fish farm and our, the other assets. But I just want to get more, some local fish produce in our marketplace. And as I say, it's not that I don't think that's the best lines or the most efficient lines, but in terms of getting them functional and making the water look alive with some boats on them, that will do for now. So we've got a few fish farm and some fishing routes in place. I just want to finish this quay wall a wee bit here. Again, I don't know what I'm going to do at the end of this line, but I'm just going to put a wee bit more quay wall in for now, because we're going to be expanding into this area probably very soon. So I just want to put some more quay wall in. So again, we're just adjusting our height here to the height that we've made it all the way along, so that we've got a sort of even cliff, an even waterfront here. And again, we're just going to put a road in, make sure it's on the sort of flat bit we've just made, and then we're going to try and hook this up to the rest of our, our grid here. Obviously we need to curve this road round and obviously flatten it here before we do anything. So obviously we can tidy up a wee bit after we've put our road and quay wall in, but for now that should do. And I just want to make a wee amend to this road here. As I say, I want to stick to an 8x18 grid, so I'm just making sure that our connection here fits into that, I mean, I could be a wee bit more loose with my grid, but I do like to, as I say, stick to a sort of grid plan, and then we can always deviate from it once we're actually building onto it. But for a basic planning side of things, I like to just have, a grid in place that suits what I usually go for. So again, I'm just making sure I've got a couple of blocks of our grid, and then we're going to curve this round here. I just want to bring this road along a wee bit more. As I say, I don't like my curves to be I like them to be fairly uniform, and I think that fits quite nicely. So we'll just put a road here where we've made it turn. So again, I'm not sure down the line what we're going to build on this side of at this point of the river, but I just wanted to put a basic quay wall in the now, while we're actually doing waterworks at all, and then we can figure out later on what we're going to actually use for this land. It's not, again, that's not the height of realism, it's just the way I like to play the game. In terms, I like to just get when I'm doing one thing like building the fish farms, we're already working on the waterfront, so I may as well just start on the other side of this road here while I'm in the mood for it. So I'm going to have to put a couple of temporary power lines in here just to make sure our fishing industry can actually work. Again, we'll probably have more things over here eventually. Obviously right now it's quite bare, we just want our market to work. In the meantime, we'll probably put a fish factory over there, maybe some offices, maybe a wee bit of industrial, we'll see down the line. As I say, I'm just continuing this quay wall here, and it looks quite good because it's nice and flat. It's kind of parallel to the road, Again, the road, we might move the road in a couple of blocks, but for now it's a good building block for building more quay. And we'll just bring this quay wall round, and I think that looks quite nice. Again, it looks quite bare now, but once we actually once we actually figure out what we're doing, and that look how that waterfront's changed now with we've got boats coming and going, we've got the line of wind turbines, you know, obviously like a bridge and the power over. So baby steps, but I think it's going in the right direction. So I'm just bunking down another crematorium. I think I kind of deleted a wee bit too many. Obviously, I think we'll need to build a purpose-built, cemetery at some point. But for now, we'll just make sure that our site's functioning. So I'm just tidying up a wee bit here. Again, I'm not sure where we're going at the end of that, where this road will go and how far this quay wall will go, but I do want to have it mostly around this corner here. And I think it looks quite good for now. Obviously it's very bare, but I can live with it for now. So I'm already going to call a slight mulligan, because the power's not jumped for this asset. I'm just going to move over for now. Maybe I should just leave it, but what the hell's going on here? What's going on here? Why is it not letting me move it to the other corner? This game is a bit funky at times. I'm just going to delete it. It should let me put it into this other corner now. Like, why didn't that let me do that a minute ago? You know, that's just a bit strange. But yeah, again, we might move it back because it looks better when it's centered. But I just want the power to jump for now, and I don't accidentally delete, the temporary power line. So in this sort of area here, I'm not 100% sure what I was going to do here, but I'm going to flatten this out a wee bit here, and we're going to put a fish factory in. We're just going to have an area like a hill maybe that separates, our zoned area from our little industrial / office part down here. So we just flattened out a wee bit of land there, and as I said, we're going to put in a fish factory down here, or maybe 2 fish factories. And we'll just have a sort of zone of landscaping in between to sort of separate it from the rest of the area. So I'm just going to put the fish factory in here. Yeah, so just a couple of fish factories. Hopefully we've got enough fishing industry at the moment to supply these 2 fish factories and our market, but obviously we're going to add some more fishing assets down the line. But I just wanted to get a couple of fish factories in for now. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this main road along parallel to our quay wall here, to be honest, but yeah, as I said, I don't know how much this is going to be permanent or not. I like the idea of a main road going along this sort of quay wall here, but I'm not too sure about it, to be honest. We might just put it down for now, and then when we properly do this area up at a later date, we might change it a wee bit. So as I said, sometimes I just like to plonk stuff down to see how it looks, and then I can maybe change it down the line. It's sort of hard to plan in this game ahead. Sometimes you've just got to plonk assets down to see how they look, and then decide, no, I don't like that. So we'll see how it goes down the line. So I just want to extend this road out a wee bit here and put down some recycling plants just for this area. I mean, we've got some over in the other area, so we just need a couple. And we're just going to upgrade the roads to, the industry roads, just so that it saves us a wee bit of money. Plonk down some water pipes to make sure they're working. just fixing the electricity, and I think that's us almost done. So for the end of this quay wall here, I just kind of want to curve this in a wee bit inland. And obviously I want to kind of preserve those rocks. I know we can plonk down rocks quite easily these days, but it would be nice to just keep some of the natural rocks in place, you know. So we're gonna have to lower a wee bit here just so we can get this quay wall in. Just lower the land a wee bit. And we're going to curve it around like that. We're just going to let it sim so the water, you know, fills in and plonk. And I think that looks quite good. I mean, we might, who knows, in the future we might bring a road under the sort of highway there, the rail in the highway, but for now we'll just curve it around, and I think that looks quite nice. So we've been letting it sim for a wee bit, so it's starting to look, starting to look quite good when it's all zoned. We've got a couple of wee shops here next to our school. The pollution's sort of mostly away. I think it'll look a wee bit better once, you know, it's fully gone, but it looks not bad for now. And our school looks quite, you know, it looks quite nice there with our basketball court and tennis court, and yeah, I think that's coming along quite nice. So as you can see, I've let it sim for a bit. We just hit 20,000 and it looks quite good with the European assets at the back here. Well, that doesn't look great. I think we're going to try and do something about that. But yeah, as I say again, the European assets don't look perfect on the curved roads, but I think we're just going to make a wee change here. We're going to stick a wee fence in here, and that way we can have our housing face on to, you know, the cathedral area. But yeah, for the most part that looks quite good, you know. Oh, I've got a random shop there, I don't know if I like that anymore. Yeah, I think I'm going to change that to put the shop in the corner. Just have another shop actually, yeah. But yeah, for the most part it looks quite good now that the European assets are all there. Also, I want to rejig some roads and stuff in terms of maybe put trees in the middle of them or something, but I think there's a whole area now that looks sort of complete. And we've got obviously our shopping area to the left there, and we'll obviously once we build onto this area, it'll hopefully look more like an actual city and not just a random, you know, area. But we'll be elementary school here looks quite good. I once saw that, you know, I don't like those single. I hate the 1x1s. I really wish they could. They wouldn't zone anywhere, but yeah, I think that we elementary school looks quite. Oh, there's another row of ones. I need to delete them. Yeah, I think the elementary school looks quite good in the middle of this sort of area. As I say, I do like the new high capacity schools. I just don't think they suit, you know, the European assets all that well. And I've just bonked down a couple of fish farms here just to speed the process along so that we can unlock our algae and our what's the other one again, seaweed farms, just to help them along a wee bit. So I'm just having a wee check of our high school here. It looks quite good, and the pollution is mostly gone now, so it looks really good. It looks quite. I do think it suits the area quite well. The Europeans, the high school. We've got a couple of shops on the edges, which is, you know, I think they suit being next to a school as well for, like, you know, lunchtime and before and after school and whatnot. Get a lot of business. So yeah, well, that's what we've done today. We've extended our grid. Got a new high school, a new elementary school, and we've started our fishing industry. We'll obviously need to do a wee bit more with our industry area over there, where our fish is, but hope you like this episode. It's probably a wee bit shorter than normal. It took a wee while to sort of took a wee while to sort of put together. I was kind of struggling with a bit of creative block in terms of I'm still not happy with the fishing industry, but it's at least running, and we can obviously tidy up a later date. So like and subscribe if you like this episode, and if you want to see how the city grows. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.